You don't need to switch to YouTube. You can stay here. That's fine. Let's turn on the recording this end too. He says.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so before we start then, I think it'd be worth actually just walking through the lab guide that Mr. Mike has put together. Can you guys read that okay? Is that clear?
Yeah, we can read it.
Okay, so Mike talks a little bit about what Proxmox is, its purpose, its version. Ultimately, it's a open source virtualization or hypervisor solution that you can deploy directly onto a machine. Now, it is officially a Linux-based distribution. It runs on a Debian-based backend. So bear that in mind when you are running it. If you have to make changes to the physical operating system of Proxmox, it would be Linux-based commands, Linux-based command lines. But it is and does give you a nice shiny GUI that we'll talk through shortly. So you don't need to know Linux to use Proxmox, but it will be beneficial for you later. Now, what I would suggest, as kind of Mike's kind of alluded to here, don't go out and buy an all singing, all dancing bit of kit here, because you know it's a lot of money to invest up front, and you know you're not going to be running production-based systems, so you don't need the latest and greatest i9 and a 4080. Graphics card in it. A Billy Basic old laptop with plenty of RAM in it will do just fine. If you want to buy something directly off the internet or something dedicated, the NUC box that Mike's talking about, it kind of looks like these. They're not massively expensive. You can pick them up off YouTube for a couple $100. I literally won one on eBay, which is what I'm waiting for, and I paid less than $130 for the one that's en route, although I have got RAM upgrade for it already sat on my shelf. So obviously if you buy a cheap one and you want to put some more RAM in it, you'll have to factor that cost too, but you're still not talking megabucks. That's a good question, Garrett. You're going to have to ask Google, because I now need to make my next confession, and that is I have never used MoxProc before. So I am kind of in the same boat as you guys. I'm going to be kind of learning it as we go away. It'll come across that I know what I'm talking about, but trust me, I do not. Okay, so downloading, installing then, it is quite simply just go to the download folder. Now I have already downloaded it. I downloaded it like 2 weeks ago, just never got around to playing with it. The instructions are there on how to get it and what to use. Now, bear in mind, not every machine in the world actually has an ISO, i.e. a CD. So the ISO kind of implies that you're going to burn it off to CD. So what you may want to do is download the ISO installer, but then transfer it across into a USB drive afterwards, because otherwise you're going to be sat with an ISO file, which is effectively a virtual CD or virtual DVD image, and have no idea what to do with it because you've got to get it on another machine. Just realised what I forgot to do.
Hey, girl, sit your ass down. What you think you're doing? No, you gotta do that.
Can you mute, please? Or not? There we go. Now my random Discord notifications won't keep popping up on the screen. Can you still see my screen? It still looks good? Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so just bear that in mind. You're working with a bootable CD and you're going to convert it to a USB. So you're going to need a USB stick at the very minimum that is at least 2 gigs in size, so that you can get that data across to it, okay? Can I just say, anyone who's not talking, please mute. Okay, so once you've done that, it's just about installing it into the drive and running the installation. So for the purpose of today's demonstration, obviously I don't have a box, and screen sharing from a physical machine is not a great deal of fun. So we're going to pretend that VMware is our physical box. So the first bit, just ignore. That one. Next, Linux, Debian. Next, we don't want to put it there. Let's create a new folder. Okie dokie. Right, obviously it's going to be a host of hosts, so 20 gigs literally not going to cut it. Let me just check how big that hard drive is. I can probably give it 200 gigs. In fact, let's give it 3, not 3 terabytes. And we're going to want to give it more RAM, so we'll give it 16. We'll give it a few more processors. And we want to do that one. Okay, so from this moment forward, just imagine this is real hardware. Now, as you can see, it's pretty simple in terms of how to install it. We want the graphical interface because we're not uber geeks, or at least I'm not. Don't know about you guys. Or at least I'm not an uber geek in this particular flavor. I suppose many would argue that I am an uber geek. If you've got a command line version of the server, then you've just installed the wrong version of it. You need the standard edition, and you need to make sure you're installing the desktop equivalent. If you Google it or YouTube it, there's a video that shows you the difference. Just to answer your question. Okay, so we scroll down, we agree, we're happy. I've only given it 1 hard drive. Now, you can obviously attach additional hard drives to your physical box, so make sure you are installing to the correct one, because you're going to want your OS on the smaller one, and then you're going to want to stick your virtual machines probably on a secondary, like a terabyte or something like that. Country is here. Next, password, something random, something random. Let's not put my email on YouTube. We'll leave that as is. And install. Nice and easy. Now, in terms of how you would interface with your dedicated lab machine, once you've done this bit and the Proxmox operating system is installed, you can pretty much just connect it to your network, and that's you done then in terms of logging onto that machine, because you can do the rest of it from your host quite happily. Because you'll use the web interface, which I will show you in a few moments. Okay, so while that's just installing then, what we'll be going through next is we're going to install Open VS switch, and that is basically a virtual switch for Proxmox, which will allow us to create our VLANs. It's not there by default, so we will need to install that. I'm kind of glad he pointed that out, because that would have done my tits in trying to Google that. But it is simply 2 lines of code. Go faster. And once we've got past installing the open switch, then we're going to go through the fun of setting up our VLANs to identify which one is going to be our internal network, our external network, or our victim and our attackers, depending on how you want to word it. We'll also identify our public interface, where our internet will be, so that we can isolate that if we need to do so. And we can also create a separate VLAN for our SIM solution or our monitoring solution. Again, if that's how you want to do it, it's how I've done it, and it's how I'll probably do it once I build my Proxmox build next week. Everyone keeping up so far, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so a couple of seconds later, and we have a nice shiny login. Now, we log in as root. We don't need to log in at all at this point in reality, but I always like to make sure that I actually type the password right and I can log in, because I don't want to build the entire thing, or at least try, if I find out I've got my password wrong. And chances are I can actually probably just put apt update here. And then apt
customer service is in my
install. Please mute.
15, 20 years. That's all I've done.
Dash switch. Yes. Okay, done. Dusted. Now, the bit I did forget to do was check which IP address it was on. And it is on 168.163, so that means it's on the wrong network. So let's just go into settings and put it on the bridge network.
I find, for me at least, that even if I'm having a shitty day at home, that coming to
Lost my recipients list. Ah, there it is. Let's bring that over there where I can find it. There you are. Alright, Mark, I'll just give you co-host. Can you mute anyone who starts yapping that doesn't appear to be talking to me? Okay, so let's do another quick IPA, find out what the IP address is. 175. Right, so and from here on in we do everything
Should I just mute everybody and then they unmute yourselves after?
yeah, that works. Right, what port do we connect on? It's on port
806 or 8006.
8006. Thank you, because I put 8005. There we go. Okay.
Hey,
Yep.
just I'm clear here. For Proxmox, we're just setting. So this is just another variation of like VM, VirtualBox, and Proxmox.
Exactly, but the difference here is you would install this direct to hardware, not into your operating system. So if you're planning to host it on your personal device, your personal laptop, Proxmox isn't for you. But we're going through the Proxmox Pros because a few people have actually got themselves dedicated machines and are deploying Proxmox because they're having a few problems with VMware Player not being a very good player. So we're going down this process for everyone, including myself, to be fair. This is a bit of a learning one for me as well. So that we can actually see how to set these networks up in a different version. And what we'll do, if need be, is we'll do the hypervisor path as well, so that those using the hypervisor are 100% sure what they're doing too.
So VirtualBox users, they're just gonna have to find it. Like, we're probably not gonna touch that today, right?
Not today, we won't, but I'll probably do it later in the week, if
Okay.
need be.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the warning I was talking about earlier about the valid subscription. You do not need a valid subscription. This is purely for support and enterprise services, which you will not be using. So do not panic when this comes up and do not feel you need to buy one, because we do not. Let me just move that out of the way so I can see the top of the screen. Just click OK and ignore that. Okay, so this is now basically where you would be in the equivalent to a fresh installation of VMware. Only this is effectively on a second machine. Instead of using the resources of your personal device, you have a little dedicated one where you deploy all your VMs to. Now, this part where it's said to go to the shell, that is what gives you the equivalent of if you were typing it straight into the box.
You can go to the PBE node, Dave, and go to the shell.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm about to say. So clicking this shell link there is exactly the same as though using the keyboard and mouse directly into the box. So that's what I was saying before. Once you've got it up and running and you've got that IP address, you don't actually need to log into that box ever again. You can just leave it there plugged in, happily ticking away, and you'll do all of the connectivity remotely. Okay, so let's now look at configuring the networks. So if we stick these side by side, is that still easily readable, or is it tiny now?
We can read it.
Excellent. Okay, so first things first then, we've done the shell bit, so let's now look at creating a network. So we go down into network, which is not here on mine. Why is it not here on mine?
Click on the PBE, Dave.
Thank you. It's handy having you guys. And I want network. There it is. Click create, and we want a OVS. Did he click bridge? Yeah, bridge. There we go. Let's make this slightly bigger because I am blind today. That made it smaller. How does that work? There we go. Okay, so we want OVS bridge. Okay. So we just create that as is. We don't need to change that. And then we create import. And this is where we now set up our VMware. Sorry, our VLANs. Now, remember when we were talking about before about doing your preparation work in terms of your network layout? Which is slightly further down here. You still need to remember to do this bit first. So document what you want your network to look like first before you start smashing in what your VLANs are going to be and your IP address scheme is going to be, because otherwise you're going to have to keep referring to the documentation that doesn't exist yet to identify what's where and what you allocated to stuff. So make sure this little diagram that Mike set out, that you have your equivalent one either on a notepad or in a notepad, physical notepad, scribbled out, for example, so that when you start building out your IP addressing scheme and you're mapping it to your VLANs, that you put in stuff in the right place. Everyone on that page, you understand what I'm talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good, good, good. Right. Let's scroll back up. Right, VLAN tag 200. In fact, surely in the grand scheme of things, we want VLAN 100 first. Let's create that one. Create. How many networks am I getting? 3, 4. 4 networks. Now, the point of doing the bridge first is that's now populated. If you didn't do the bridge at first, you wouldn't be able to create your VLANs, so just bear that in mind. Right, now we need to apply the configuration. Take your time, good sir. Obviously, this will be much faster on real hardware. Do you still need the link, Suprana? There you go.
Oh, Dave. Yeah. Thank you.
So Dave, question for you.
Yep.
If we're using a personal computer, it is preferable we use a VMware. Is that what you said?
I would actually probably say use VirtualBox, unless you've got a pro license for VMware.
Wait, so are you putting Proxmox onto your VMware?
Just for the purpose of this demonstration.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm effectively nesting my virtual machines just for the giggles. But it does kind of prove that Proxmox will run on just about anything, hardware-wise.
So do you recommend us continue our home labs on the VMs that we have currently? Or is
If you're finding they're working fine, yes. I'm not saying go and buy dedicated machines if you're finding you've got enough on your laptop. If you already got 32 gig of RAM, 64 gig of RAM,
Maya. No.
that's not an issue. But if you are your home laptop's only got 4 gig of RAM, for example, to get the most out of building a lab, you're going to need a separate machine with at least 16 gigs, maybe more. And it might work out cheaper to buy a cheap second-hand box than to upgrade your laptop if your laptop's like mine, for example, because I've got the Samsung Galaxy 360, which, as awesome as it is, doesn't let me upgrade it. So I can't put extra RAM in it, I can't stick a bigger hard drive in it, so I'm kind of stuck with what it's got. And if that was my personal machine, and my only personal machine, which is quite probable across most households, you'd be stuck and not able to build it. Why is this taking forever?
Got you. So just to make sure I'm clear, because I'm in the same boat as you. So for me to run everything at a decent speed, I should just go ahead and put Proxmox onto my virtual machine and
No.
set everything up.
No. So if you've got what are you running? VMware or VirtualBox?
VirtualBox.
You just carry on using VirtualBox. You don't need Proxmox.
Okay.
Like I say, this is just for those that decided they wanted to build a dedicated LAN that wasn't running on their personal machines. Because if they're gamers, etc., then having VirtualBox or VMware installed, that affects the FPS, man. Nobody wants that. Okay, that appears to have finished. I don't know why it was sat there hanging for doing forever. In fact, it's still running, apparently. Right, let's get to uploading our ISO files. Right, now we want to go to local PVE, ISO images. Where are my ISO images? That is a good question. Did the box fall over? Nope, still running. Let's refresh the page. Apparently I broke Proxmox. Does anything ever work for me first time? I don't think it ever has, does it, Mark? Does it ever just work for me? I'm pretty sure it doesn't, you know.
Try to refresh one more time. One more time, dude.
All right,
this happens. This happens to most of us with Proxmox.
If it's going to be this pedantic, I'll switch to ESXi then. In that case, right. Let me just check it hasn't given itself a new IP address.
Oh, space. Alright, let's reboot it. Let's just check it's on the right VM. I did put it on 0, didn't I? Unbridged, yes I did. Okay, let's just reboot it.
133. Is the new IP the 168.133?
Nah, because that's the NAT address, and my host won't be able to hit that direct. So if in doubt, reboot. I'm guessing it's just because I changed the network in the back end.
Yeah.
It's still saying 168.133. Why?
It might have bridged itself to the NAT.
Unless it gave itself a it's never easy.
Hey Dave.
Yeah.
Go to try it out nano slash etc slash network slash interfaces
Nano.
slash etc slash network slash interfaces. On your go
Yeah, there you go. Look,
there you
it's
go on
this set
VMDR
static.
0. You can just change that address over there to whatever address you want.
There we go.
You're missing one point.
I had a feeling it had said it's static.
You
There we go.
Yeah, just save it and you can access the web GUI.
There we go. So we just need. There we go. Why on earth did it do that? That was random. There you go. Thank you. You're a little start. Right. Let's create. Okay, so stick that in there. Stick that in there. Stick that in there. Windows 11. And Windows Server. And I downloaded the OVA for is that all of them? Got Windows 10, Windows Server, Windows 11. Where's my Ubuntu and where is
On you might have to re-upload these because Proxmox doesn't like you can. It comes with container templates, but no ISO templates. You have to re-upload.
No, I was just finding the ones I downloaded off the internet, but I've lost my Ubuntu and the Kali Linux one I'll have to re-download because I've downloaded a VMware version. I want virtual machines. Oh, which one would I need? That's a good question. Let's just try importing. Right, so let's upload, select file. Right, do we need all of them? Can we do all of them at once? Let's not try break it.
You can do one at a time.
Wow, imagine having internet speeds of 2.5 gigabits per second. That'd be smashing, wouldn't it? I definitely need to get a connection that fast.
It's all good, Dave. We appreciate you doing this, man. For us who are using Proxmox, I know it's only doing this because it's on that VM box, but
It's all
we
good fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll be doing this for real next week anyway on my new box. So this is a good precursor for me, so I don't mess it up the real time.
Hey Dave,
Yes.
if you're going to do it, if you're going to like do it, would you mind doing it with PFSense as well?
With what? Sorry.
PFSense for
Yeah.
your firewall router.
Yeah. Oh, as in the variations for using pfSense as a router, as well as or as an alternate to using Windows Server. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I was planning to do that, and I'm also going to do a GNS-free Cisco router way of doing routing too. That'll all be next week probably.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Okay, cool.
As I'm sure there's a few of you are keen to head down the Cisco route in the not too distant future. Right, let's go back to our lab. What if I create multiple connections? So I can do it.
Hey Dave, will today's lesson be primarily focused on Proxmox?
So far, yes. But it's just going to be about, for the most part, getting the networking working in Proxmox, and then we can crack on with the next stuff that we need. Okay, so we are good to go. Next, we want to create our VM. So let's go create VM. ISO image. Let's build the server. Soft Windows. Obviously, use the physical CD. CD is if you've got it in a physical drive. Do we need any special configuration? I don't think so. Next. 32 gig, yeah, that's fine. Don't need to worry about that. Sockets and cores, don't need to worry about that. Memory, 4 gig will do just fine. In fact, let's drop that down. That'll do. Now, when we're connecting to it initially, let me just restart that because I didn't click fast enough. Wow, did it reboot that fast? That interface looks very much similar to TryHackMe, doesn't it? I wonder if TryHackMe is based on Proxmox. Starting to think it might be. Okay. Alright, well that's running. Let's create a new VM. Call this Windows. I didn't actually give the first one a name, did I? That's got to be a single. There we go. Make this Windows 10. Windows 10. Next. Yep. Next. Yep. 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 Bridge. Yeah. Let's stick this one in 200. Next. Need to put the server into 200 as well. Wow, you've got to be really quick to get that. Aha! I think I got it that time, right? I don't think I did. Oh my god, how fast do you have to be? The ship. It's got one processor and 2 gig of RAM. It can't boot that fast. Come on. Right, so 2. Is it not like the... Is it not like the ISO file? Is the ISO file not finished uploading? That definitely finished, didn't it? Yeah, the ISO file definitely finished. Oh, that's just rude. Alright.
Yeah, the Windows symbol comes up, one of them goes there, so it's like you're doing the right thing, but something else is happening.
Seems that way, doesn't
Try
it?
to reboot it, Dave, on the side. Oh, you shut that down.
Yeah, so shut it down for a second. Oh yeah, I could just click that one.
Yeah, that one over there. It has like reboot and everything else.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright.
and start picking.
It does not like that image.
Did it already boot once? Like a full, did it boot into the OS already? Because you might be able to just disable the go in the hardware in the CD DVD drive.
No. This is for the Windows 10 box. I was running them together, so the server's pretty much running at the moment. So that's on its way.
Ah, okay, yeah.
But the Windows 10 box doesn't want to start. Right. Let's just check the settings. Yeah, it's the right version. Alright. Let's try. Create a new VM. Win 11. Next. 11. Windows 11. Yep. Next. Yep. 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 I'm really not liking Proxmox in VMware. I don't recommend it. There's a reason people don't put it in VMware. Okay, at least this one's working. Alright. And we want that one. But of course. You can't make this up, can you?
For the other Windows 10 machines, I just click the standard. Are you clicking the Pro for any different reason, or?
Say again?
I said for the Windows 10 machines that I installed at other times, I just click the standard version.
Because I've got licenses.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Simple as that. Just because I've got licenses. Right, let's delete that Windows 10 image. Remove. Upload. That's definitely the Windows 10 image I was using before. So I know that one definitely works. Right. Let's upload it again.
Dave, if I may ask, how long are you going to be here?
Until I get this bit working. You can drop if you need and watch the video later.
Oh no, okay. I want to join later because I got to drive home.
Yep.
Quick, like 30 minutes.
No worries. I'll probably still be here.
All right, appreciate it.
hardware.
Oh, I see. Hold on. Dave, go back to that hardware tab.
It's alright.
And stuff-
I realised what I did. I closed the task that was copying the drive from the download. So when I uploaded it, I didn't wait for the task to finish before I closed this window.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
Yeah.
what it was. So if I now bring it up, let's go back. Edit.
That
There we
Vert
go.
IO SNSI single.
See, it's 6.4 gigs, where before it was saying it was 1.557. Oh, won't let me select it now. Just shit. Ah, look, it's working now. Ta-da! Right, I need to shut that one down. There we go.
I got a feeling it's gonna work now. Normally, it just runs after this.
It better.
Dave, would you mind showing me your network on your PVE? It's not gonna. So basically, Dave, you're putting in your VMBR0 as your network, but it should be VMBR1 because the tags is on the OVS bridge. Just a thought.
No. So the reason why I'm putting them in there to start with, in zero, is because that they'll have access to the internet, so they can update.
Oh, okay, cool.
Once they've finished updating, then yeah. But you're right, yeah, because I put in the VLAN numbers when I shouldn't have done that. You're right.
Yeah.
But I left them on zero because they all need access to the internet.
So basically, your OVS bridge doesn't have access to the internet?
No, it shouldn't do because it's not got a route. At the moment, see how these ones have got an IP address allocated? The OVS bridge doesn't.
That IP address on your top is your CIDR number. That's basically how you get to the web GUI for Proxmox.
Yeah. But during the configuration of these VLANs, look, we haven't stipulated a CIDR for them. So they won't get an automatic IP address. They'll end up with a 169 address.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I was like, I was doing that on PFSense. That's why I was like kind of confused. Sorry about that.
That's okay. You're just getting ahead of yourself. Okay, so let's see where they're at. That one's still going. We should probably rename this one to server. Did I install the... Oh, I've installed the command line version, haven't I? Oh, I don't want that. That's horrible. I don't want that. See, that's what happens when you spend too much time wanting to install the stupid thing and not actually looking at what you're installing. Right, let's go back in here. Am I going to have to delete the whole thing and start again, or can I just wipe the disk? There we go. Magic. Wait, where's the options to install? Oh, is it because of the size? I wonder if it's because of the size.
The hard disk is 32 gigs.
Yeah, the hard disk's enough, but maybe the processor is not. Yeah, because it's not letting me choose the version. Oh, I know why. It's because I'm installing the wrong bloody version. Right, so that's the lesson here then for everyone else that's having this same problem. If you're downloading the server version 23H2, that is a command line only version of server. I forgot I'd had it downloaded. So if that's the version you're working with, that's why you're stuck with command line, because that is a reduced version of the server.
So download 22 or anything before that?
Yeah, so the version you want should stipulate server 22 in it, not server version 23H2. If it doesn't physically say server 22, then you're getting the Windows Server Lite edition effectively. Yeah, I totally forgot I had that on file. Apparently. There we go. Good call, thank you very much. Although it still hasn't stopped it. Stand down, Mr. Server. We don't need you. Right, hardware. Let's detach another disk. Add a new one. We're going to run out of space really quick at this rate. Well, this isn't proven as productive as I wanted it to. But I'm sure it's helping you get through a stack of problems because I've had them instead.
It's all new to me, so I'm learning, so it's productive. Somebody else is learning, everybody's learning. I guess you're learning some stuff too, so.
Yep, I'm learning too. Right, did that upload? Yes, it did. Right, so now if we go back to our server, go to the hardware, change this to that one, okay, and turn it on. I didn't feel that install was right the first time. I just thought I was being tired. Right. That one. That one.
You got the internet turned on for that? Oh yeah, you got a key or something.
Yeah, I've got a key. Whether it's going to work or not, it's a different matter. How do you sync the clipboard? Ah, oh, that's rude. I'm going to have to old school type it. Q. Okay, so we want standard. We agree. We want custom. And that's running.
Oh yeah.
It's only taken an hour and 11 minutes to get here. On the upside, I'll have this done in 15 when my box finally arrives.
Yeah. This is the trial and error before you do it on the real hardware.
Exactly. And on the real hardware, I've got 64 gig of RAM to stick up its backside, and it's running an an i7, so it should be pretty quick too. Alright, where did our Windows 10 box get to? Right. So we've got our VMs. We know our network diagram. We don't need to go through setting up the router for today because we've already done that. That's on this shiny little video here. Right, so all we need to do then, once we've got them in and running, is configure the network adapters to make sure they're all on the correct VLANs, and then we're good to go. Right, while these are running, by the way, this lab guide talks you through installing Sysmon. It talks you through downloading, configuring and installing Renux or Remnux, and it also talks you through installing Cloudflare VM or Flare VM, which is a open source Mandiant for reverse engineer and malware analysis. Don't worry about going that far yet, because you're just going to be using up resources on your boxes and not using them probably for another 3 weeks or so before we get that far. So don't worry about going that far. If you want to get ahead and you're an overachiever and you feel compelled to do the whole thing, that's completely up to you. But I won't be talking about Flare for probably another 3, maybe 4 weeks. We're going to do some Remux in a couple of weeks, but we're going to worry and do a bit more playing first around installing Splunk. In fact, is that on here? I'm not sure if Splunk's on here. I think it might be. Did he go?
It's not on the guide right now.
Yeah. This is all on the guide already.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was Waza. That was what I saw.
Yeah. So Waza, he's got. We don't need to worry about that just yet. Oh, is he using Waza as the? No, so he hasn't. So he hasn't talked about installing Splunk. I think he's still building a guide for that. But after we've done the Oracle quick guide on Thursday, no, Tuesday. What day is it today? It's Friday, isn't it? Now, so it's Thursday for you guys. So on Monday, get my days right, we'll very quickly touch on VirtualBox, and then we will start playing with is the server fried itself? No, it can't have done. It has, you know. Seriously? Alright, we're going to delete that VM and just start again, I think. Right, we don't need to change any of these, do we? No. No. Just give it a 60 gig hard drive just in case. Although I don't see why we would need to. Yep, yep. Did you guys who are also already using Proxmox have this many problems with it? Because I'm seriously reconsidering whether I want to use Proxmox.
I mean,
was it really this temperamental?
I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I was a beginner installing Proxmox on my little, hand-me-down PC that is sitting on right now, and I wiped my lab like probably at least 5-6 times now, but it's working smoothly and running once you get it down. I like it because it's realistic. I mean, I love virtual boxing.
Realistic in that it's an absolute heartache because it don't do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I can see where the realism is.
Yeah, I think like when you get your PC set up next week, it'll
be a lot smoother. Yeah, I hope so too, because otherwise I am really going to be considering going with ESXi.
Welcome to the club, Dave. Proxmox.
I'm not feeling it, if I'm honest, dudes.
I think Dave's called VMware.
Alright, let's leave it on the screen this time, see if it explodes itself again. On the upside, if you do run multiple tabs, you can run multiple consoles at the same time, so you don't have just the one, you can actually connect to multiple. And once you've got these configured, you'll be able to configure it so you can use RDP to connect to them, so it'll be a lot nicer. You don't have to do it in the console. And what my intention was about 40 minutes ago was to show you how to set up RDP so that you could use RDP to connect to them. That was my plan. But yeah, it's going a lot slower than I intended.
I know that guide that was shared got me pretty far along after reading and reviewing and seeing how to install all that in the environment.
Right, so I did mess up slightly in the VLab allocation, which means it's not finding a yeah, we don't want that. I just told it I don't have the internet, so why is it asking me if I want to connect to a Microsoft account? Is that just plain stupid Microsoft logic or what?
I'd call that Microsoft logic.
Oh, you're not connected to the to the internet. Are you sure? Let's try and connect to Microsoft anyway. What's your pet's name? My pet's name is Microsoft Sucks. That was my childhood nickname. Still Microsoft Sucks. And the place I was born. We'll say Microsoft Sucks. Okay. Yes, Cameron. Carmen. That's exactly what you can do. And if you watch this video, you can skip through most of it because most of it I spend sat here waiting for stupid little blue circles to run. Has my camera dropped off? Looks like it has. There we go. It's back again. Nope, we don't want that. Yeah, it seems to be back now. Cool. If this fries itself again, I swear I'm going to throw a tantrum. And then Val, you can install Proxmox in VMware? Don't. Oh, that reminds me. Where's the guide gone?
Did you share your YouTube link in the chat, or I could share it there for you somebody?
I haven't put it in the chat yet, so feel free to share it.
Alright.
I already shared my channel. If everyone's not subscribed now, then you know that's on you guys.
I know. You only got 24 subscribers, but you got 28 people on the go right now.
Alright, is it going to work? Ooh, it's a good sign. Nope, that's not a good sign. Oh yeah, that's a good sign. It's working.
Proxmox got a nice splash screen there in front of the Windows setup.
Yeah, that's well. It's I think it just replaces the Windows boot because Proxmox is special. You're playing in Proxmox now. You play by Proxmox rules.
VMware got to step their game up.
Yeah, absolutely. Although this is doing a lot of rebooting, I hope that's because it's installing updates and such. Although VMware would have been working by now, so I'm not sure if they need to up their game yet.
No, yeah, they're like, you know what you're using VMware. There will be no splash screen. Did you just pick up a new person? I thought it was 28, now it's 29. Let's share the links again.
Why has it still gone into the UI version? Oh yeah, just don't do it. All my life. All right, let's just jump to an actual version of Windows, and I'll show you how to set up RDP. All right. Actually, I wanted the router. Let's turn this one on. Right, there's going to be a couple of bits you'll need to do to be able to go into your network from your desktop. The first is you'll need to set a static route on your desktop for the networks that are within VMware to point to your 22 router or your IPsense router, etc., because otherwise your host machine won't know where to go. Although that said, I've got all of the hosts on it, so I might be able to ping them. Let's try. Okay, so first things first, we need the IP address. Wow, how slow is that going? I've never seen it typewriter like that before. That's epic. Okay, so .64, so it's on my local network because it's got direct access. So I think it's with it being so. Oh, getting a bit too click happy here. Stop. All right, so on your host, click run. MSTSC, which is Microsoft Terminal Services Client. And then the little remote desktop will pop up. On there, put in the IP address 0.64. Alright, so it's not configured. So first let's go to remote desktop. And turn it on. Yes, we want to turn it on.
Yeah, I think it's turned off by default.
It is, yeah. But I was just demonstrating that, so.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Okay, right, so let's try that again. $64, wasn't it? Was it 64? Yeah. Okay, let's try again. There we go. And we want more choices. And then from this moment forward, you can connect to your virtual lab through remote desktop instead of through VMware, which, as you can see, removes all the gump from around the outside, makes it a lot cleaner, and you'll find it responds a lot faster as well because it's not being interpreted from within the window.
So less resources?
Less resources on your host, especially if you've got your Windows server sat inside Proxmox, for example. You'll find the remote desktop client is 1,000,000 times faster than that console client that you're presented to by Proxmox. And because your router is connected to everybody else, if we just minimize that a second and turn on the Windows 10 box. In fact, I didn't need to actually log on. From within our Windows box, we can connect to free. That was a guess. Oh, we're going to need to turn on. That's why we needed to log on, because we need to turn on remote desktop. Rude. I am an administrator. Should be an administrator.
I had to change my permissions to turn mine on too, so.
Apparently not. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's jump across to my server. Whoops, wrong one. Okay, we want users and computers. And we want global admins, so we want users. No, we want built in. There we go. And we want domain admins. Can anyone see it? Am I being blind?
You're looking for admin again, right?
No, domain admins. Domain admins.
There
There we
it is.
go.
Yep.
Members. Okay, fine. All right. Oh wait, I don't need to do that anymore. Like, talk about rude. How dare you not make me an admin by default? What kind of security is this?
Crappy Windows security?
Ain't nobody want to be secure by default. Like, come on. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? Like, come on, I am an admin.
So you can right click and select run as admin, Dave.
Alright, we're just gonna cheat. Oh, wait. It's not what I wanted. all this just to have a cool lab. Alright, that's going to now need to want to build a profile. RDP inception, yeah, you're not wrong. Although you need to be careful you don't go too deep, as it were, without being too punk, because otherwise you get lost where you are and then you start entering the passwords to the wrong boxes. Trust me, I have done that before too. Like, why is it not logging in? Oh, because I've 3 RDPs in. It's very similar to using SSH from one box to then SSH to another box to then SSH to another box and then getting lost and forever having to type hostname to figure out where you are.
So Dave, when did you say you'll be working with the VirtualBox?
Yep.
Monday?
Be Monday, yeah.
Okay.
But we shouldn't need very long on VirtualBox. It'll just be about showing how the network sets up, how you can break up the VLANs, how you get the routing working.
Right.
So it shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
Okay, now we're logged in as an administrator. Alright, desktop settings. Turn it on. Yes. Okay, so now I'll go back to my router. No, go back to my RDP session. And now I should. It says, next, don't forget to include your domain if you actually have one. Right, and then the next thing I will think very much worthy of mentioning to you is something called BG Info, which lets you know which box you're logged onto. So BG Info is a sysinternals tool which basically drops a stack of information about the host on the desktop background, which makes it nice and obvious who you are. And just type BG Info into Google and you'll be able to find it easily enough. Downloads. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Where's my mouse gone? What's going on with my mouse? It just disappears. What's going on with my mouse?
Look up the remote desktop in your search bar, and then left pane, when you touch this remote, on the right pane it says sign in administrator.
Alright.
Go to your search bar on the bottom and put in remote.
No, I am remote desktop in. I can close that, but for some reason this remote desktop window is locked up.
Okay.
That's what it is. That one's just locked up. Okay, so let me just paste this in here. Right, so this BG info, just extract it. That's fine. It's not a rocket science bit of kit. You just open it, run it. There's a stack of stuff here by default. I wouldn't recommend leaving it all there, but for the sake of today we will. And then whenever you're on a system, you'll have all the information down the left hand side of which host name it is, what the IP address is, etc, etc. So that way when you're moving around your lab, you'll know where you are and which box you're on.
That doesn't show up on the lock-in or the login screen, does it?
No.
Good.
But what does show on the login screen is oh, that's a good point. It won't. Well, the host name shows up if it's not on a domain, but if it's on a domain, then yeah, you're kind of foobarred.
Okay, cool. I just had to ask.
But yeah, when it's not on a domain, like this Windows Server one here isn't. No, the Windows Server one is. This one isn't. If you're not sure, well, I wasn't expecting that. I just logged on with the administrator with no password. Win-win. Security. It's not doing weird. It makes it impossible to remote desktop in, but hey, if you want to just log in as the administrator with no password, feel free. But yeah, that'll be something we'll have to come up with a cunning plan to solve. Leave that one with me. I'll see if we can come up with an idea that'll allow you to identify the box from the login screen. Okay, so we are coming up to the 2-hour point, and I really need my bed. We've covered a stack of stuff today. We covered the installation of Proxmox. We showed how to set up networks within Proxmox. We showed do not run Proxmox within VMware because it runs like a dog and doesn't work very well. But we've also covered how to set up remote desktop so that when you're running things like Proxmox on a completely different box, you can RDP into that box instead of using this wonderful console that is slow as a dog to actually connect to. Don't worry about your Splunk configuration. I will show you how to get around that on Monday. No, Thursday. Monday if I've got enough time. The problem, you can't use universal forwarders with the free version of Splunk. That's your issue. So what you need to do is you need to output your sysmon to a file and then get your Splunk service to upload the file and pull the file. You can't use universal forwarders. You
Like
need
switching it to like forwarded events or something.
yeah. What to get universal forwarders working? You need the enterprise version of Splunk, and you have to pay for that.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So when you're using the free version of Splunk, I don't have one installed at the moment because it was on my system that died. I'll sort it out over the weekend. But yeah, one of my things I wanted to cover on Monday and Thursday was how to get the logs off all of the different systems that we've built, Linux or Windows, into our free edition of Splunk, or the Elk stack that is available to us. But I need to find where the Elk OVA is hosted. But I'll find that ready for Monday and I'll drop it down for you all.
That makes sense because I've been losing my mind. Every video it shows me the same thing. I'm like, it's not working. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they all say use a forwarder, but they also assume that you've got lots of money to buy a Splunk license.
That's fair.
Or you're lucky enough to be like me and have a developer one. But a couple of people have tried to apply for a developer one and weren't lucky. So I guess I only got one because I got friends in Splunk.
The win.
Cool. Right, on that note then, I will bid you all a good evening. I hope you found the session useful, if nothing more, to have a giggle at me not getting stuff working. And I will chat to you all probably Monday, if not before, okay?
Alright.
Right, have a good one.
Dave, quick question.
Go on.
If any doubt in Proxmox setting up, should we just ask in the chat, or
Yeah. Just drop it in one of the announcement chats, but make sure you at me so I know it's for me.
Okay, sure.
But don't ping it to me directly because you might be asking a question that someone else has got. So drop it in one of the announcement chats, and that way at least it's going to everyone, so everyone can see it. Plus, that way it saves me copy and pasting the same answer to multiple chats, because I have been doing that. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I'll do that.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Everybody, I'll chat to you all soon.
Yeah, here we go.